At Sundus Exchange, we do money transfer and remittance all over the world. We have offices in Dubai, offices in Kampala, Somalia, and different parts of the world, USA, Canada, UK, Dubai, among others. Download the Payc app from Play Store and you can exchange money all over the world and the recipients receive via mobile money. Try Payc today for instant exchange. Sundus Exchange, your money transfer and the best as remittance. We are fast and reliable money transfer limited. Hi there. Thank you so much for watching these videos. My name is Captain Simon and let's proceed. All right, so I want to tell you that our system is live. Okay, so I'm very sure if I click on anything here, I'm already in sales. Let's say expenses. Okay, it's taking me to expenses. When I go to bookings, it's taking me to bookings, things of the sort. When I come back to the dashboard, you can see that everything is working fine. So today I've managed to make some sales, and those sales were worth, I think, 15,000 Ugandan shillings. I'm going to go to sale and I choose the company. Now the company here is hard coded, is not dynamic because I have two. I have two groups that I'm promoting. One, I'm making sales for myself and sales for another client. So sales for myself, I put them under this, and then for my client, I put them under this. So we are dealing in different things. So I've sold two of these. This one was a mixed color. I've sold one mixed color. Then the quantity is 1. Okay, so the price was 15,000, and then the expenditure again, I had transport, normal, border, so which expenditure was 2,000 Ugandan shillings. So I'm going to sell. Okay, and it's going to be added, so it's in the items sold. So if I come back to the dashboard, okay, I'm still operating in negatives per my investment capital, but I think everything is working well. So if I come back to sales, you can see that it already made a calculation for us that we've managed to pay 15,000. okay, we were paid 15,000 per order, and then the transport was 2,000, therefore we are getting 13,000. So the order is not yet delivered, so that's why the button here is delivered. So if I click delivered, okay, it goes ahead and lets me know that it is delivered. Now if the payment is cash on delivery, or they send mobile money as in the previous video introduced, okay, I go ahead and click paid when they pay, and then it gets complete. Then I also have here items on a loan. A customer could be on a far place, okay, and then they need to pay slowly for the item. So whenever they add a payment, I click pay. If their item paid, okay, let me loan a product. Let me loan a product to show you the example. So the customer name is going to be me, Simon, and then the number, okay, the number must be there, okay, just like that. And then I put the description of the product they have added, and then the loan amount. So I'm going to put a loan amount of 10,000, and then I add a loan. Okay, so when I need to pay, instead of directing to a different place, this will be taking in this row ID. Okay, so I've not paid yet, so I'm going to pay 5,000. So I just click pay. All right, so it shows me that now the loan is still in a pending status. I've paid 5,000 and I still need to pay 5,000. I'm going to pay 4,000. Okay, so it calculates that my balance is now 1,000 for the 10,000. So I've paid now 4,000. Okay. I think now here is a glitch. I need to make sure that it adds from the previous. Okay, that is identified now. but however, it has calculated for us that the balance that is remaining for per hour payment is that. So I'm going to try and pay an amount that is more than the remaining 1,000. Okay, so I pay. Great, we get a warning that the amount we're trying to pay is actually more than what is required. So I need to put in the right amount, which is 1,000. So when I press pay, okay, so it shows me that there's zero balance, but the payment here should be totaled up to this. And then there's the loan status is completed and payment fully paid. And then the field where I'm putting in and also the pay button disappears. All right, so these are some of the things I'm going to take you through, okay? And then some things we went through concerning the auth. All right, so let's take a brief break and then we get back. Welcome back. So at the recording of this video, we have 845 subscribers, okay? Please go ahead and subscribe, watch, comment. Whenever you comment, okay, we do receive, I do go through the comments and I get to know what actually you need. For example, there is a subscriber who commented about the speed of my English. And then I think also I wasn't being audible enough in certain videos, so I needed to buy microphones at the time. Okay, so no worries, let's go ahead. My views are dropping, but no worries. I'm going to continue giving you good content. So let's go ahead. So what I want to do, I made some logic that I'm going to take you through. I remember promising you that this will be the advanced part 2, okay? So I'm going to do a few things or show you a few things that I did in part 2. So I'm going to go ahead and register. So I'm going to register a user. So I'm on localhost. And this user is going to be anyone, and the email address will be anyone, okay? anyone@gmail.com, and the password will be, okay, by default, I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't put any special characters because this is for testing purposes, okay? It is hectic going through it over and over again. So you can see that after registering, it's going to take us back to the login page, and I'm going to show you why. So what I did was to play about with the mind a little bit. So after logging in, okay, after registering, sorry, because you register in the registration controller, okay, so if your registration is successful, okay, you must log in. So what I did, when you register, you're supposed to go to the home controller, okay? So when I went to the home controller and redirected the view, instead of going to home, I redirected to dashboard. But now, when I go to dashboard here, okay, where is dashboard? When I go to the dashboard controller here, because I redirected to the dashboard controller, when I go to the dashboard controller, okay, it requires you to log in because here it is in the middle auth, Laravel auth. So when I go to the dashboard controller, let me check the dashboard controller. Okay, when I go to the dashboard controller, I check, okay, if your role is 2. If your role is not 2 or 3, I flash you out, log you out, then redirect you to the login page. Okay, so how do I check the role? This is it, and you're going to find it. I check your auth. If the FK role is equal to 2, so if I go to my side here, localhost, and I refresh, I added an FK role, okay? So by default, an FK role is 1. By default, an FK role is 1. So the admin was given an FK role of 2, and another person will be given an FK role of 3. All right, so I'm going to come here and log into the same system so that I can make that person. Okay, so localhost 8000. because if I log in into the same system, okay, localhost 8000, in the same browser, I'll be redirected to something else. Okay, so I'm going to log in as okay, I think I put a complicated one. All right, so I'm logged in. Okay, so if I go to my users here and I check, anyone has an FK role of 2. So if anyone comes in here and tries to log in, okay, since anyone, when I try to log in with anyone, it's going to bring us back here. Now, that is because anyone, okay, has no FK role of 2, and neither do they have an FK role of 3. So that's why they'll be coming here. Okay, so it logs them out of the session and then it redirects them to the login page. So for them to log in successfully, I must give them an FK role of 3 or 2. If I give them an FK role of 2, they will be able to see this. So I'm going to give them an FK role of 3. So I'll choose to update role. Okay, so they are 3. So this time around, if they come and log in, and I press login, it's going to redirect them to sales stock, but you can see they can't see my dashboard, neither can they see the users. When I come here, I can't see the dashboard or users. So that is an if condition. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard and then we see that if condition. But the if condition has determined that they have an FK role of 3, okay, and it has logged them, redirected them to sales, and that's among the things they can see. Sorry. So it means, and they can also see their name, okay. So here it is, you are logged in as anyone, okay. So unfortunately, I have not rectified this thing of the flashing going away, but you can see here it is anyone that is logged in. So they can see stock. If there is any, they can see sales. If there is any, they can see expenses. Bookings, they are not allowed. It is telling them that you are not eligible to see this, and loan items, they are not allowed. Okay, so we're going to get back to that, but let's see why they can't see this. Okay, so I'm going to go to dashboard here, the dashboard view. So it will be under dashboard, and then here it is. So under the, I think it is in, it is in menus, then admin menu. Remember, our menu is dynamic. So if the user FK role is not equal to 2, that is the admin, they shouldn't see any of this. So even if I wanted them not to see stock, I can just get it and then put it under only the admin. Okay, then I save. And if I come back here to anyone's account and I refresh, they cannot see stock because it has been taken away from them. Okay, so let it reload. You can see stock has disappeared. Okay, so let me go and undo that. Now, this is also important. Apart from the dashboard, let me go and check any other that I put in condition. For example, they cannot see. I could have removed also items on loan and bookings, okay, so that they can't see them. So let me go ahead and click on bookings, and then we see what happens. So if I click on bookings, okay, anyone is not allowed to see that. So how do I do that? So I went to the bookings controller, okay, and then I determined that if the FK role is not equal to 2, okay, if the FK role is not equal to 2, okay, then it should redirect them to cells, okay. So if it is equal to 2, it let them go to bookings, and it should redirect them to sales, and also let them know that their logged in name, they are not allowed to see this. Okay, so what more did I do? For example, This is important with, especially with this kind of auth that we are determining. If I go back to the dashboard controller, okay, and I remove the if statements, just like that, I'm going to just remove them. Okay, I don't want to comment all that. And I remove the return redirect to this, to investments. Sorry, return redirect to investments. I've saved that. Then I come and refresh. Okay, much as I made a condition statement here in the admin that anyone with the role of not equal to 2 shouldn't be seeing this. But if I come and click on dashboard, you see, much as I'm in anyone's account, I'm actually seeing the dashboard, and I can come here and add a capital of 10,000. Let me put 100,000. Add capital. Okay, and anyone has okay, there's I think I wrote a conditional statement where anyone cannot add capital based on their ID, but anyone is accessing the dashboard. So that's why it's very important, okay, with this condition statement to check if they are actually allowed to do anything, okay, to do anything. So if their role is not equal to 2, they cannot access that. So if I go back and refresh, okay, anyone is taken out to sales, okay, and they are logged in as anyone, so they cannot access, okay. So let me go ahead and try to add capital, if any, on the dashboard. Okay, add capital, and I see if that error. Okay, I choose to add capital. Then there's an offset of 0. I wonder what that is. Let me check on it and see. So I'll go to the controllers, then I look for the investments controller. Investments controller. Okay, dashboard controller, I think, is where I'm adding the investments. So initiate, add capital. All right, so I know why they couldn't, because I've not made an initiation yet. But with the initiate, okay, there is another way of using it. That's the installation. So I initiate. Right, so I choose to add capital, 100,000, and 100,000, it is added. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stock, because anyone cannot add any stock. Okay, where's the stock? Okay, sales, stock. Okay, I need to double check now on the menus. Where's stock? Am I missing something here? Yes, I'm missing stock. Great. So if I refresh, I have stock. Okay, so if I go to stock, I can stock a product. I'm going to stock the glowing butterflies, and input stock quantity. They're going to be maybe 20, and then in-stock price 3,000, and then the sales price, there will be 5,000, a profit of 2,000. Then I add stock. All right, so if I go back to the dashboard, you can see that our stock is now 60,000 because we've stocked, and 100,000 has been deducted. It's now 40,000 because our stock, okay, was 20 times 3,000, which gives us, okay, the 60,000. Okay, now we expect the projected sales to be at least 40,000. Okay, so now, which means anyone can do something right now. So if I go to anyone and I refresh, okay, so anyone is able to see anything that is in stock. We have butterflies of 60,000. And then anyone can go to sales, okay, and choose to sell. So they are going to sell under GB Circle, and then they are going to be selling the butterflies. They're going to be selling only 2 butterflies, and the input sale price will be 5,000. And then the expense will be transport, which transport could be 500 shillings. And then you choose to sell. So when you sell, you've made a total, okay? You've sold 2 items, that is 10,000. The customer name and customer number is now for the moment, but the transport is 500. So 10,000 minus 500 expense, okay, is equal to 9,500. So we're going to because if I go to the let me go to this side. If I go to the dashboard, okay, no profits have been made yet because the item is actually not delivered. What if the item is in loss? Okay, so what do? So I think I need to add a loss button somewhere. So the item is going to be delivered, but they have not paid yet. So which means here we go to our, let me go to the controller. So which means here we go to the sales controller, okay, and we look at add cell. So we've made a cell, okay, but we do not record. So we just create, but we do not record any profits or anything. So when the item is delivered, when someone presses the deliver button, there is an if condition, by the way, to show the buttons. When someone presses the deliver button, okay, so we find that and we change the order status to delivered. So when I come here, so the order status is now delivered. So there is an if condition to show these buttons. So which means I go to sales. So I go to sales, okay, and I look at the if conditions here. So the if condition is only catering for these, the last, the two columns here, the order status and the buttons part. So it first checks if the order status is equal to pending, okay. So by default, when someone makes a sale, the order status is equal to pending, and then it allows the button to be delivered, okay. So if the order status is delivered, the button should be shown paid, okay, and that's what we have here. The button is saying paid. So when the customer pays in, okay, because after receiving they are supposed to pay. This is cash on delivery, okay. So if the order status is now paid, then I show completed instead of showing the button, because the button will be useless. So then after, it goes ahead and updates. So when the order status is paid, okay, we go back to the sales. Okay, let me click on the sales controller. We go back to the sales controller, okay, and then we add adjust, okay. We make sure that also we update the investments to take in the sales, the total sales, and the profits, okay. So which means if I come back here, I should be able to see the profits if the other person has paid. So I'm going to go ahead and click paid. Okay, there's an offset. Which offset is that? I'm going to go ahead and click paid. Okay, so there's an offset. Let me check that offset. Okay, which is in the sales controller, paid. Okay, where the ID and auth user ID. Okay, now the auth user ID is different. And I think they're not supposed to, by the way, that is true. That is true. Because the transaction only belongs to one company, the auth user ID they're not supposed to press paid. They're only supposed to see sales. So which means it is only the admin that is supposed to press paid. That is good. I've identified that. So I'm going to go to sales, okay, and then I choose paid, okay. So now you can see that this is complete, and then when I go to the dashboard, I can see that I've not made any profits, okay. So I've sold an item, and we actually paid 50,000, okay, 9,500 shillings. If you go to sales, 9,500 shillings. So if you look at it, okay, so out of the capital that we've input, we've only sold items. We've not reached our original balance, okay, and which is okay. So we've not made any profits. We're still operating in losses. All right, so let me go to the give loan. Okay, I've already so this person cannot look at the items on loan because there is an if condition here on loans. Okay, so there is an if condition here that if the roll is not equal to 2, they cannot access. Okay, so let me add a loan. I think I tried to correct that. So let me go to items on loan. So I'm going to give an item on loan, which will be the customer, can be any of these, the customer number, and then XXX4, and then the amount is going to be 10,000. Okay, so I try to go ahead and correct whatever was an issue. So the customer is going to first pay 5,000, pay. Okay, so amount paid, I think I have an issue with amount paid here. So the balance old pay, amount balance. So let me go and check what is the actual figure there. When we go to loans, it is amount paid, amount loaned, amount paid, which is 0. Okay, so let me first pause and correct that, then we come back. This is the error, so it's supposed to be old pay instead of balance. Okay, so the amount paid here is 0. So if I go ahead, I'm just going to refresh and continue. Okay, so you can see that the amount paid is 5,000. Now I'm going to pay another 4,000, and this condition has updated the status. So I'm going to go ahead and pay another 4,000. So you can see I've paid 9,000, and then the amount is still pending. So if we check here, okay, we have a lot we are checking for. First of all, we get we first find the ID of this column that is being paid. So Shifa is paying on this column, okay, under this company. So we first find the ID of this column. Oh, sorry, where's the loan? This is it. We first find the ID of this column, okay. Then we get the balance, so that is the old pay from this ID and the amount balance. So the old pay here and the amount balance. So the amount balance is 10,000, was 10,000 at the moment, and now it's 5,000. So if I refresh, the amount balance is okay, now 1,000, because I already paid 4,000, but it has topped up. So the amount of the loan is this. So if I go ahead now and try to input an amount that is more than the 1,000, so I'll put 2,000 and I try to pay. So it is warning me that the amount input is more than required. So that condition is set here, that if the amount paid is amount being paid at the moment, so this is the amount being paid, it comes in from a request input that says pay loan. So if the amount being paid is more than the balance, okay, remember we've equated the balance here, okay, reflect to them that the payment is not updated because the amount submitted is more than required. Else, if the amount being paid is less than the balance, okay, so this can be less than or equal to the balance, okay, then you do what? So I needed to add less than or equal. Okay, so let me add less than or equal to the balance. Okay, or equal less, I'm not sure. Then you go ahead and update that. So let me come back and add 1,000, then choose to pay. Let me hope I won't get an error. So you can see it has done that for us, and the amount is being paid fully. But I think we have an issue here with less than or equal, I think, because it's not satisfying the problem here. Okay, so return back. Okay. I do think if this is equivalent to the balance, so I do think this was unnecessary, because if the amount paid is equivalent to balance, I had taken care of it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pay my 0, then we have another test. So I'll go ahead and pay. Oh, the amount must be at least 100 shillings by request. Okay, so let me loan another product under the same customer, maybe the same number, and put in the same amount. So 10,000, then I choose to pay to add loan, so not paid for the moment, so I'm going to pay 9,000. Okay, then I pay the 1,000 that is pending. Great, so it has completed and then paid. So which means if the amount is equal, if the amount is not less, at this condition, the amount is not less than the balance. It is in fact equal to the balance. Okay, so it is equal to the balance, so it goes ahead and does this, and then loan is paid successfully, and then the status is updated to complete. So if the status is updated to complete, okay, I come back here to the loans field. I look into loans. So if the status is completed, then if the status is not completed, the form should appear. But if the status is completed, okay, it should show that the payment is fully complete. So meaning the status are not being completed, it is allowing the user to always put in the amount. Okay, I think that is it. So if I refresh here, the loan is already completed here. Oh, this person is not supposed to say the loan, sorry. The loan is fully completed here, and you see the form is no longer available based on the other if condition. All right, so that's it that I wanted to share in this advanced part. You can find this system on GitHub, then you modify it. It's free, totally free, and it's all up to you. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. I also want to introduce you to the Payc app. Those of you who want to do foreign exchange, you exchange money across remittance across countries, and also send money in Africa, Somalia, Pakistan, USA. The Payc app is there, and it is facilitated by our sponsors who are Sundis Exchange. Let's meet in another video.